and a lot of people want to really upgrade themselves to master's level. So I'm just here to moderate this session to make it a bit more organized. So for the sake of everything that you need to hear for today, we have identified 3 master students who are currently pursuing their studies in Sweden to lead this meeting today. What do we mean? Because they've just been awarded the scholarship last year. So every year we realize that there are not necessarily major changes, but you could have 1 or 2 minor changes here and there. And looking at me personally, I did this since 2019, and I realized a lot of things have changed along the way. And even now I tell people, I think I have to go back to the website to read more about the requirements before I could chip in to guide anybody. But these 3 speakers are current students, and they are just 2021 awardees. And we felt as an executive and as a general alumni body that in order to do justice to this topic that is going to be discussed today, and let's just give it up to them to lead it. So we have Musa Dabo, who is currently pursuing master studies in Sweden, specifically in the North, Umeå. We have our Minte, who is also a master student at the London University in Malmo. And we have Binta Fabre, I think, who is also doing master studies at the University of Sweden. So I want to thank you 3 for accepting our invitation to lead this program today. So basically we have divided the sessions into 3 because we knew before the scholarship comes, you have to go through the applications of programs to universities, and that is the university admissions. So when you successfully finish that, then you can start filling out your scholarship forms. So then filling them comes and how to go about that until at the point of submission. So for the first area that we are going to discuss, Binta, are you there?
Yes, Kama.
Yeah, okay, good.
Right
so,
here.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So Binta is going to lead us to regarding the steps that you need to follow when it comes to applying to the different programs that are being offered by the Swedish Institute. So that means with the university admissions, what you need to do, how to go about it. So I think, Binta, if you are ready, we can start with you and you could lead that.
All right. Thank you so much, Kama.
Yeah.
This is an important thing that I am so grateful and I'm happy to be part of. We all need to give back to our country in one way or the other. And the Swedish Institute has given us an opportunity. And we would also like our fellow brothers and sisters to be part of this important journey. I will share my screen for the latest presentation that I want to do.
You should be.
Okay. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Binta Fabre. I am among the last year's beneficiaries. I am currently studying Masters in Business Administration at the Med Sweden University in Sundsvall. This is an online information session that is organized by the alumni, the SI Alumni Network, Gambia. So my topic of focus will be the application process through the university admissions. We all know our end goal here is to get the SI scholarship or to apply the SI scholarship, which cannot hold without having an admissions. So admission is crucial. It is the foundation so that every other thing is built on. For the current period, the application period started from from the 18th of October and it ends on the 17th. That is like in 2 days' time. So which means it's almost at the tail end if you haven't started already. The first thing that one needs to do is to create a user at the university admissions website. And then you can search for the relevant program of choice that you want to choose. There you have an option of choosing up to 4 different programs that you can rank according to your preference. The other important thing is after doing that is to provide documentation. Documentation is crucial in this case. That the important thing that you need to have first is having a bachelor's degree from a recognized university. In this case, University of the Gambia is recognized in the Gambia. So your undergrad degree from the UTG is important in this application process. The application, the certificate also needs to have the official seal of the university. If you have the certificate, means it's already having the seal. But if you haven't, for undergrads that are yet to graduate, but you'll be issued statement of award of degree, which has the registrar stamp on it, which you can use in the application process. Even though during the process you might be sent a message to clarify or to be asked about the certificate, but you can also clarify that through writing that you will be getting your certificate after your graduation. The transcript is another important one that needs to be uploaded, not by you individually, but by the transcript office of the UTG. The fee that we paid before was $400. That's what you paid, and then they will upload your official transcript for you. You also need a proof of English language proficiency. This is a document that is given to almost everybody now when you graduate. So you can just scan it and then upload with the other documents. Your identity document is equally important. And let's make sure that your identity document corresponds with your academic credentials. For example, some ladies might have a maiden name that they use in their documents. If you have such, you need to actually indicate an authentic document to show that it is your maiden name. The application fee in this process is 900 crowns, 900 Swedish crowns, which is more or less about plus or less $5,000, depending on the current market rate. Those are the general requirements. For all the individual programs that you're going to choose with different universities, you have to check for additional requirement information. So not all universities will require those program-specific documentations. So you need to check on your application where you have your 4 programs. There's a place that you have check additional requirement. Then you can click on more information on the application form. Then it will take you to the programs, the university's website itself, and it will tell you all the additional information that you will need. For example, statement of purpose. Some universities will give you their own format, like University of Lund and that of Gothenburg. Other universities, you will have to write that and attach it. And also, the same applies for the CV as well. The programs are 60 credits or 120 credits. 60 credits going for 1-year program, and the 120 credits is for a 2-year program. So some people might have certain mistakes like taking 7.5, which is just for a module, not an entire program. So you need to check whether you have gone in for a program that is for 60 credits, which is for 1 year, and 120 credits that's for 2 years. It is, however, advisable if you can go in for 120 credits program, that is a 2-year program. That will give you a lot of opportunities when you come into Sweden, but that is a personal decision that you have to take yourself. The final day also to rank all the courses that you have chosen according to your preferences on the 17th of January 2022. The admission fee and document fee deadline is the 1st of February 2022. That is my presentation today. So if there is any questions and comments, you are welcome to come.
Yes, I have a question, please.
Thank you so much, Binta. I think that was a very detailed explanation of what is involved in the entire applications when it comes to university admissions, so to the different programs and the courses that are being offered. So I think if there is anybody who could just, because Alman has asked the questions to be asked via the chat,
okay.
So it will be easier for you to write your questions there. And if there is somebody who could volunteer to just go through the questions that were asked, and we could see how Binta could attend to them or any other awardee or alumnus at the moment. But Binta, thank you very much. I think that was a detailed one, and you've provided almost all the information that is needed for anybody to successfully apply for a master's course or program in Sweden. And one thing we want to remind each and everyone is, you go to university admissions, you enter the search, you just click on the search button and you apply for your course of interest. But SI as an institution releases a whole, publishes a whole list of eligible master's programs for every year. So I think the first guide that I tell people is, don't just go to university admissions and blindly choose courses. First of all, go to the SI website, download the list of eligible courses for each year, and go through those list of eligible courses and see which are your interest areas. That way, you know every course you have chosen is an eligible program to be sponsored by SI. Not you going there and choose any course you want, later for you to apply for the scholarship and you realize that, oh, the course is being advertised on university admission, but it is not on the SI eligible list of courses. So let each applicant be very conscious of this. Still now, it's not late. It's not on the 17th. Go through your course list and confirm if every course that you have chosen is an eligible program that is being sponsored by SI. That way you are safe. So I think we could just have a 15 minutes Q&A session with Binta regarding the application process, or anybody who has questions with regards to what she has presented at the moment. And then we could, before we move on to the next speaker. So I think
we have some questions at the chat.
Exactly.
Maybe you can answer that.
Yeah. So I think we have one here. Yeah, we have one I'm seeing here that is asking from Seiduba. Hello, are you guys getting me?
Yes.
Yeah. So Seidu
Yes, we can get you very clearly.
Binta, I'm trying to go through the chat list to help read the questions out to you. And Seidu is asking if it's advisable or wise to choose more than one program in the same school.
Personally, during my through my own experience, all the courses that I've applied are different universities.
Okay.
I choose four universities. They are all different programs. But like I said, everything depends on your academic qualification, because every program have a requirement that you need to meet. So I don't think that shouldn't be a major obstacle. You just make sure that the program requirements it's actually aligned to what your qualification is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's very important. So from my own experience too, I'm not sure there is any problem you applying to different programs in the same school. So we just want you to increase your chances. Since you are paying 900 crowns, if you choose one course, and you pay the same 900 crowns if you choose 4 different programs. So the reason we want you to choose 4 different programs is to increase your chances of admission. Because as an international student, when the first round of admissions are published, if unfortunately you are even on the reserve list, know that automatically you are disqualified from being considered for an SI scholarship. SI waits for the first round of admission list. Once university admission provides them with that first publication of admission list, that is what they use to finalize with regards to who is eligible and who is not for an SI scholarship. So you can choose 4 programs from the same university. As Binda said, make sure you go through the requirements and see that you are eligible for this program. That is what is most important. You can choose 4 different programs from 4 different universities, 2 different programs from one university, 2 different programs from another university, as far as you just maximize the maximum, like the 4 options, 4 programs that they've given you. It's fine, whether it's from one school or different schools. So we move to the next question too, where they are asking for the minimum CGPA requirement for the scholarship. So Binta, can you?
Personally, I didn't actually check that requirement. Yeah. I didn't, maybe it's there or not, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can help me out with that one. I'm not sure, actually. The important thing is, yeah, you need to have a bachelor's degree in order to apply the admission program.
Yeah. Yeah. I think CGPA requirement might be more important as to the admission, obtaining an admission. But for the scholarship, not, because they have their own criteria that they look out for. So I know virtually anybody who is offered an admission in Sweden might have a required GPA that is accepted by that institution. So I'm not sure SI has a fixed cap onto the required CGPA that you need to have to be considered for scholarship. We have students who had way more higher GPAs and we are not awarded. We have students who had lower GPAs and we are accepted. So I'm not sure. I don't also know of the range for the scholarship, but I know for the admissions, each university has their own GPA requirement of this and this and that. So from my own experience too, and maybe any one of the alumnus or awardee, I could give chance to 1 or 2 who could also share experiences on this or have any other knowledge apart from mine and Binta.
Yeah, I also have a question.
Okay, we were just trying, just give me a chance.
I also have a question.
Enlighten people about the required CGPA for the scholarship, because that was asked by Ansumana before we move on to the next question. So I was just, this comment is referring to the current awardees or any person who is part of the alumni who might have gotten a different knowledge as to the required CGPA to be considered the scholarship. So I could give chance to one person among the awardees or the alumni to also share experience or knowledge on this.
Hello, Kama.
Yes.
Okay, on the GPA,
hello?
Let me add 1 or 2 over there.
Yeah.
Personally, SI did not have any specific requirement to say that if you have 3.8 or 2.5, we are going to give you a scholarship. SI, what they consider is people that are admitted at the school and they follow their own criteria. If you go to the university's requirement, I saw people with 2.5 CGPA and they're admitted at the university. It all depends on the school that you are applying for. Example for OMU, if you are going for accounting, they will make sure that you have 5 accounting courses in your program before they would admit you in that accounting program. Finance also the same thing. So there is no specific requirement to say that if I got 3.8 are admitted to postgrad or not. They check on the program that you have done, the courses that you have done before you are admitted.
Why is downloaded? You can use this.
Comment?
Hey, 40, I'm hearing you, yeah.
I think I'm clear. Am I muted before? I was talking, I don't know whether I was muted.
Yeah, I think Alman was trying to, because we couldn't get people care. A lot of microphones are on. So
Okay, let me come.
trying to make,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what I was saying, I say for SI, there is nothing like the GPA. If I got 3.8 or 3.1, they will give you a scholarship. And for the universities, as far as I know, I saw people with 2.5 GPA and they admitted at the university. So as far as you're admitted at the university, you can be eligible for the scholarship. Like for example, in our university here, UMIO, those who are admitted for accounting program, they will see that they will make sure that you have 5 accounting program in your transcript before they will admit you. So basically, they are not focusing on the high GPA, on the low GPA. As far as you got 2.5, what I know so far, the people that I interact with and their GPA, there are people 2.5, they admitted at the university. 2.5, you are eligible to admit.
I will just reiterate on Bafode's point. I know it's not my time to talk, but I was going to shed some lights on this. Swedish universities don't actually put much emphasis on GPA. They are more concerned about the content of your undergraduate studies. So if you apply for a program in Sweden, they want to look into your transcript to see if you have the number of credit hours to be admitted into such a program. So that's the most important information people need to know. And it's important to have a good CGPA, but 2.5 will admit you into any university in Sweden. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Musa. And I'm thinking now, since we have 2 more speakers, I think it will, let's just allow, I know your questions are as important as like you need more information, but I'm thinking to allow Awa and Musa to present, since we have the group chat and we are following all the questions. So let's have all the presentations and we can allocate, we make sure we are within the time frame. So any other time that is left before 7 p.m., we could allocate that to Q&A. And those questions can be either be shared between, can be answered by Musa, Awa, and Binta collectively, or if any other awardee or alumni has another different knowledge on that. So just allow me to introduce Awa to come and do hers. So Awa, are you ready?
Hello, Koma.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting. I read an important question on the comment section. I'm not sure whether you guys found it or not. It could be very vital for somebody. He was asking for those who are late for application, when is the next round? I just want to tell them that they are not late because applications are not closed yet. So you can do it today. You can create an account and put in an application today or tomorrow. It's not closed yet. Because that's very important.
Yeah, the most important thing is from now against 17, if they tell you the application deadline is on the 17th, that means after the 17th, you cannot choose courses or programs. But for now, if anybody has the intention of applying, please log into university admissions, choose your courses and programs. Then from now against on the 17th, then they will give you a deadline, I think early February again, to complete your documentation and pay your application fees. So for just the selection of courses and programs, the deadline is on the 17th. But you have a deadline up to first week, maybe the earlier dates of February, I'm not sure, where you could submit your documentations and pay your application fee as a non-EU student.
Yeah, that like you said, it should be on the 1st of February. That's the last day for documentation and application fee.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah.
So I think for our welcome, is our mentor here? Are you said?
Hi, Koma. I've already shared my screen. Are you seeing it?
Good. Yeah, I'm seeing it. So
Okay.
now I'm going to take us through Binta has talked about the university admission process, and that's the first step you need to do. So the scholarship, we've divided the scholarship tips between Awa and Musa. So Awa is going to take us through the scholarship application processes and the expectations they are expecting for the motivation letter. And last but not the least, Musa will take us through the letters of reference, proof of work and leadership experience, and the CV. So Awa, you are welcome.
Koma, just to be clear, Musa is doing CV as well?
No, you are doing CV.
Okay, all right, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I will do CV as well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, sure. That's
all right. Thank you very much, and thank you to the good evening, everyone. Those who are in Sweden and those who are in the Gambia, and thanks very much to the Alumni Executive for organizing this important event. And I'm really happy to be here to be part of this event and share, well, the process that I have gone through in the last 1 year. My name is Awaminte, as already introduced by Binta. I am 2021. Are you hearing me? Somebody is saying something. I am a 2021-2023 scholarship recipient. I'm studying at the Alumni University. I'm studying international development and management. All right. So like Koma mentioned, I am going to talking about the application forms, firstly to introduce you to the application forms that exist for the scholarship process. And then I will talk more about the curriculum, the CV, and then the letter of motivation. So as part of the application forms, there are 4 different application forms that are part of this SI application process. I know it is very confusing when you talk about the university admission and also talking about the SI scholarship application. It is kind of, the processes are kind of separate, but then one leads to the other. So Binta have already talked about what you need to do to get into a university. And now this part is talking about what you need to do to apply for the scholarship. So for the forms that you need to fill for the scholarship application, you have the curriculum vitae form, you have the letter of motivation form, you have the letter of reference forms, and then the proof of work and leadership forms. Please note that the difference between form and forms, in some of them you're required to fill in 2, and in the others is just 1 form that you need to fill. And my colleague Musa, as Binta said, will be talking about the letter of reference forms and the proof of work and leadership forms. So for the curriculum vitae form, it's a template that is developed by SI. Koma in her introduction said that the forms do change from 1 year to the other, but most of the time the changes are not much. So in terms of content for the curriculum vitae, it's just a normal CV. However, it's a form that was developed by SI, and these are the information that are required on those forms. The first section just talks about your personal information, date of birth, citizenship, your email address. I want to note at this point to put in an email address that you will be using for the entire duration of your application process. So be careful not to use email address or work-related email address. In case you are successful, you want your application process to be consistent all through, and information that you put in your application documents to be consistent all through. Then you need to put in the work experience that you have gained. It can be 1, it can be 2. When Musa talks about the work experience in the leadership forms, he will talk about the number of hours that you need to meet to have the requirement for the work experience. So it's just the date. You need to fill in the industry and the sector. This is like a drop-down menu where you have a list of sectors that are related to the work, any of the particular works that you're doing. And so you may have more than one options that are relevant or aligned to the work experience. So what you do in this case is to make sure that you're choosing one of the sector or the industry that is most relevant to the work experience that you have put in. You need to do a brief description of the organization that the work experience is related to. This is brief. All the forms are character sensitive, so means that you need to be precise and succinct in whatever information you're putting, and just put in relevant information. So SDG is a very important thing for SI application. So most of all the processes is related to the sustainable development goals. So they want to see how the future professionals fit in the overall sustainable development agenda. So you will also have a SDG drop-down menu that gives you all the SDGs. So the work experience that you're feeling needs to be aligned to a particular SDG. So this also, you may have your work experience related to more than one SDG. Then again, you need to be careful which one you choose, and choose the one that is most relevant to the work experience for that particular one. So you fill in all the work experiences that you have gained, whether within the same organizations, because some of us, as we transition through an organization, we have different roles, or from different organizations. So after doing the work experience, you need to fill in your education and training. What you have, this, but make sure the information that you put here is something that you have documentation for. If you put in you've gone to UTG, there is something that you can prove that you have been to UTG. You may have you may want to put in as much training or education experience as you want to be fancy, or to think that that's information that is needed. But do try to put in only something that is going to help you in the application process, not to overwhelm the form that you're filling. So on the education and training also, you have a drop-down menu that you need to put in the SDG that your education is most related to. Then again, it's the same process I have mentioned earlier, that you need to put in the SDG that is most relevant to the educational training that you have gone through. So this section, you need to put in the education and training that is relevant for the application and that you have gone through and can prove that you have gone through. The other key thing is the network civil society engagement. This is something that is apart from your work experience. Some of us may have been working for as a civil society, but if that is what we have put in as our work experience, we may want to put in this section something that we have volunteered in another civil society or another network. So this section also, you need to describe what the network, society, or organization is doing. It's also brief, it's character sensitive, so you need to put in only information that is relevant. You also need to briefly describe one main achievement you have accomplished within the network or the organization that you've worked for. And Comma has mentioned the forms do change. It may be major, it may not be, but I don't think it will be a major change. So you may see these questions in the forms that you'll need to fill for the 2022-2023. You also have previous scholarship prices that you have received in the past. You want to put in that as well. So there is an annex that you need to attach a copy of your passport or a copy of your national ID. So it's an or, either a passport or a national ID. What is important and relevant is to make sure that the picture and then the quality of the ID or whatever you are attaching is very clear and readable. So that is very key that you need to be mindful of. But it doesn't really matter whether it is a ID card or a passport. So the other form is the letter of motivation form. For the letter of motivation form, you have different sections as well. You have just the general information, and then you have the master's programs that you have applied at the university admission. So here you start linking your university admission to your scholarship application process. So this section has the ranking of what you have ranked in your university admission. You put in the ranking as you have put in your university application, and all the relevant information that comes with the university admission information of the courses. Some of us may have applied for the School of Economics, Stockholm School of Economics. So there are two tables. So if you, by any chance, have applied to the School of Economics, you feel your ranking on the other on the second table instead of the first one for the School of Economics. So the letter of motivation comes with a question. It changed in the 2020-2021, there were 2 questions, but the 2021-2022, there was only 1 question. And this is the question that we dealt with. We had to describe how our knowledge and experience gained from our time in Sweden is relevant in the organization in your home country upon your return, since we are all expected to return. So this is also character sensitive. It's just 1,000, so it's less than 500 words. So whatever you put in this section should also be very relevant and very succinct to the point. Key for me, which the instructions are very clear once you go through the forms. You should not repeat information that you already stated in your CV. That is very key. And when you go through the introduction and the task that you're supposed to fill, you will clearly see that this is not something that you're supposed to do. It's more or less you expanding on your achievements and also what that inspire you as an individual. So again, it's very short, 1,000 characters. You need to put in only information that is relevant and that is going to help you in the application process. So those are the 2 forms that I tasked to talk to you about. So on a final note, all the forms have maximum character. So I'm going to say that again. You need to be succinct, you need to be relevant, and just to the point, just put in information that is required for the that is going to help you in your application process. You need to provide, you need to go through, please go through your application forms as much as you can. Go through it over and over again. The period is just a week. When the application opens, it's just a week before it closes. So also try to get someone to review for you because we write sometimes and it's always difficult to see our own mistakes. So if you give it to somebody else, let's not be shy. Just open up. You can get somebody else to help you go through your document to see if it's relevant and answering to the questions. And try to start early. So like we said, the forms do change from one year to the other. But if you have access to the 2021-2022, now would be a good opportunity for you to practice filling the form on your own. And if it changes when the application process opens, you can always transfer the relevant information from one form to the other. And then, so finally, the application process for me it's a process. The application process is what you make it to be. It can be difficult if you want to rush it, and it can be very easy if you take time, give yourself time to go through the forms and make sure that you understand it. If you don't understand, get somebody else to help you in the interpretation of what is required for each of the sections in the form. That is all that I have. Thank you very much for the time. If you have any questions, I think if I'll be happy to answer if I have, if I can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Awa. And I must confess that was a very good presentation, and you've done really well. You've done really good justice to the topic. The CV has been explained clearly, and the motivation letter too. So I think now, to save time and to make sure that we get the required information and across to everyone. So I think we just go on to allow Musa also present.
Okay, then I'll stop sharing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Musa will just present on the reference letters and the proof of work and leadership experience forms. And once Musa is done, then we can have the speaker panel can still be around our Musa Binta to answer to each question that has been raised. So some of my colleagues, some awardees and some alumni are doing very well in the chat box trying to answer questions that have been raised. But yet still, after Musa is done with his presentation, we'll open the floor to each and every one of you, and you will have the chance to ask our Binta and Musa of any further questions or clarification that is needed. So thank you so much, Awa. That was a really good one. And we are so grateful for your time. And now we can move to Musa.
Yeah, good evening once again. I believe everyone is seeing me and can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
Great. First of all, I want to thank the SI Alumni Network in the Gambia for this wonderful initiative to help our fellow countrymen and women to grab this wonderful opportunity and come to Sweden to pursue their academic dreams. I am humbled and I'm very happy to come and share with you some tips and advice as to how I was lucky to be awarded this scholarship. My task this evening was made very, very simple to talk about the proof of work and leadership experience, but I have come up with a unique plan that I think will summarize all what my previous colleagues have said, and also share with you my experience of how I was able to get awarded the Swedish Institute Scholarship. And you guys need that information because almost all the information has been said are available online, but you need those special tips to be lucky to get to Sweden and pursue your dreams. So actually, just a moment, my screen is giving me troubles. All right. Comma? Hello, comma?
Yeah, Musa, I'll get you.
I could not be able to proceed with my screen to the next level. I don't know.
Can you stop sharing and share again? Let's see.
Okay. Let me share my screen again. All right. So we go to the next slide. I want to first of all share with you some facts and my motivation. Last year, over 9,000 applications were received globally by the Swedish Institute Scholarship. And out of the 9,000 applications received globally, for over 5,000 students got admissions by April 7 into different universities. And can you imagine just over 350 students got awarded the SI scholarship at the end of the application round. And only 12 Gambians got this scholarship. Nigeria topped the list in Africa with 14. So my motivation here tonight is to help all of you succeed with your application and seeing that number growing up. And it is only possible when we do the right thing. There is no threshold for this scholarship for any particular country. That's made very clear by SI. It's all about the quality of applications. But what makes many people fail is they don't listen to the instructions and understand them carefully. So you have to make sure you read the instructions, read the details, and answer what is required. So how to do that is what I'm going to share with you during this presentation. How do I get a university admission and a scholarship in Sweden? So tonight, or in the Gambia evening time, I'm going to share with you my pre-application experience my application period experience, and my post-application period experience. But I will give you a disclaimer. Every information I'm giving you here is not from the Swedish Institute's scholarship. It's not from the Swedish government. This is my experience with regards to the application I did last year to get a Swedish Institute scholarship. All the information about the scholarship is presented on the official website of the Swedish Institute scholarship, and they are very clearly stipulated there. But I think it's important to share with you my experience. Now, let's talk about my pre-application period experience, especially with the university admission. I have considered it like I've enrolled in a course, 3 months to be very busy reading on this particular course. So I started to read about everything about the admission websites 3 months before I start the application, to understand what are the requirements, what did the Swedish people want from international students, what can make someone qualified to be a global professional, because the scholarship is meant for global professionals. So you have to always understand that. You have to read and understand what is really required of you before you start the application process. So I also, before starting the application, I've read about different universities in Sweden. And during that process, I was able to understand, okay, education in Sweden is the most unique and most fantastic thing anyone can go through. They are all of the same standard. All the universities in Sweden, the education system here is of the same standard. So I was not going to kill myself to compete with all the top talents around the world to get an admission into Lund University. I was able to know this from my previous research before starting the application. And I knew I'm not going to worry going to the city or going to the town in North, because education system in Sweden is all of the same standard and of the highest quality you can find anywhere in the world, if not the best. So I started to also get my national identity documents, because my passport was about to expire this year, actually, and I know I will be here in Sweden if I get the scholarship. So I went to renew my passport on time before I start the application. And then I also start to organize my documents, because the application is in 2 folds. The first application is the university admissions application, and the second application is the scholarship application. And all of these applications have different document requirements. So I went ahead to organize my documents that are missing and start to process them, especially the most important documents like the official transcript, which is never issued directly to students. The University of the Gambia issued the official transcript, and proof of English proficiency, because I want to tell the Swedish people that I don't need to do another program in Sweden or present a certificate like TOEFL to be qualified to study in Sweden, because all my life I studied English. I studied in English. So you have to make sure you start early preparation of all your documents and get them sorted out. And you are not going to be successful with the SI scholarship, I'm telling you this, if you never count on experience of previous successful applicants. Your chances are 80%, but I will say it's very, very important, because I've seen it. I have seen the number of applicants that applied the SI scholarship last year. And even among us in the Gambia, majority of those that succeed have really counted on successful applicants to get some lessons from their previous applications and advice. No one can know it all. And if you want to know how the Swedish people think and what the Swedish people expect from you, a wise thing to do is ask those who have been through the process. They will tell you some very important tips and secrets. And I also start to read through the UN Agenda 2030 Millennium Development Goals, because everything you're doing around the developing world has to do with one of these goals, or you are nowhere. So you have to make sure you understand what these Millennium Development Goals are, so that you can use that knowledge and tailor it down in your writing during the application process to make sure the Swedish people know that, yes, you're definitely doing your career in one of these goals. So let's continue with the post-application period experience. So after I am able to get my proper documentations, like I have been able to get my transcript uploaded on my portal. I've been able to get my use of English proficiency uploaded on my portal. I just have make sure that the programs that I am going to choose from the 4 different universities in Sweden are going to, my undergraduate program that I did in the Gambia should be able to show some credit hour courses that can prove my qualification for the 4 programs that I've chosen across Sweden, because I've already been able to get a good GPA in the Gambia, but what matters most to each of these universities is, yes, you want to do this program, but what are the courses that you did in your undergraduate that is going to qualify you for our program? So they are very much concerned about your transcript, about these courses, about your grades in these courses. So if you do well in some of the areas that you think are related to your graduate studies, feel free. These universities are going to enroll you. For me, I was able to be enrolled into 2 of my choosing universities. My first priority did not take me, they put me on the reserve list. My second priority took me, and my 4th priority. So this is the beauty of having different options. That's why someone asked if you can choose different courses in one university. Why? Why delay your chances? Or why make your chances very slim? You have options to choose from. And I'll give you this very important tip. Don't be bothered by the name of the university in Sweden. Trust me, every university in Sweden is of the same standard. The quality of education is all of the same standards across the board. I will recommend you choose my university, Umeå University, and they will take you, because you are not going to be in a competition with thousands and thousands of other applicants around the world who want to be in the bigger cities, and they want to, they will come with the best, possible applications, and your chances are slimmer. You don't want to be in that kind of mess. There are so many options, over 40 different universities to choose from. So I will recommend.
Excuse me, Musa.
Yeah.
Just a minute. I think virtually, can we go directly to the scholarship forms? Because we just want to be considerate to the audience from the Gambia. Internet is expensive, and from the list, some are using their phones. So I just want us to be fair to them. Some have Wi-Fi, but others don't. Maybe just move to the work experience and the leadership where you are assigned to. Then when we have time, we can come through to the general information. Because a lot that you have said have been discussed by Binta before regarding the application process. So let's just hold on that for now and get to the forms that you're supposed to talk about. Then after, if there is time, we can come back to that.
Koma, thank you very much. But my objectives for the presentation was to give my people the best information they deserve. But I understand you are right. Some people are definitely using credit and it might be very expensive to. So I will go straight to the scholarship application. And my part tonight is to talk about the work experience, and also you have to be a leader. So if you want to get an SI scholarship, you have to make sure that you are already in a leadership position within your current employment setting. Leadership in the form of a project manager or a line manager, or you supervise 2 or 3 people at your workplace. And you just have to make sure you are able to provide proofs of this. So the required number of working hours that you need to show proof of on that application form, our time was 9,000 hours. You have to at least get a number of working hours, of a period of 9,000 hours. You can do the maths to know how many number of years that would be to be qualified to get the required number of working hours. And then you have to be in a leadership position in that employment place for a period of 3,000 hours. So there must be proofs of this. And the SI provide their own templates to show proof of your work and your leadership experience. So your work experience form is supposed to be filled by your line manager at your office or your employment place or your company. It depends on the type of work you're doing. And make sure you meet the required number of hours stipulated for this year's application. If you are supposed to get 10,000 number of working hours to be considered a global professional, please make sure you are able to get proof of this with the official stamp in color of your working institution or your employment place. And it doesn't only stop there. You have to be a leader in this working environment. And you cannot only be a leader, but you have to lead for more than 3,000 hours in your workplace. Make sure you provide the proofs of this with a stamp from your office as well and signed by your supervisor in color. So these color stamps and signatures is what you have to scan in color and submit on the application website when the portal, when the window opens in February. You also have to show experience in civil society organizations that you are part of. Like if you, for example, if you are a member of Red Cross Gambia, go and get that form that indicates to you to provide experience in civil society or NGO associations. Get that form filled and make sure the chairman or the president of the Red Cross, for example, Red Cross Gambia unit is able to stamp that document for you. And if you are in a leadership position also in that civil society organization, I would recommend you get that form also filled for leadership, because these forms are templates that are available at the website of SI. So if you need to copy them into different copies, the leadership form can be copied into different copies if you are able to have experience in different leadership positions. If you are a leader in 3 or 4 different civil society associations, get the forms printed out and make sure you meet the required amount that SI requested from you. So get this verified with stamps and let it be signed by the supervisor of that particular institution or association. Then you are good to go and submit the documents. So basically, that's the part I am assigned to talk about. And I believe I am able to quickly go over it. So I will stop here. If you have any questions, then I don't need to rush with the presentation, but maybe I can come back again to talk about some of the other tips. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Musa Dabo. I think that was a good one for the proof of work and leadership experience form, the letter of reference forms. And I think now I just want to draw the audience attention to just one point that you mentioned. Maybe that might have been an oversight. When it comes to the proof of the minimum.
Someone is.
Yeah, so I just where you mentioned 9,000, I think it's 3,000. That's just like equivalent to 3 years of work experience. But I'm trying to just confirm again. But as at the time I'm applying up to 2020, it was 3,000 minimum required hours of work. So I'm not sure it has increased to 9,000. Before some people will go back and go and cancel their application.
Did I say 9,000?
Yeah, it was just an oversight.
That's an oversight. My bad. Please, yeah. It's 3,000.
Yeah, it's 3,000 before some people will just go and close their application files. Thank you so much to you again, Musa, for that wonderful presentation. And the same gratitude goes to our Aunt Binta. So I think now we still have almost 41 minutes to go. Anybody whose internet connection could allow you without any extra cost, you can just hang around and let's take you through the question and answer session from the speakers. So Musa, Awa, and Binta will come back again and we can go through the questions and clarify as much information as possible. I know our colleagues are doing wonderfully well, Nyara, Kase, Ibrahima, and a lot other more by answering a lot of the questions that have been raised on the chat box. So, but I think, I'm not sure every one of them have been answered. So now we could just go to the Q&A session where the panelists are available again as a group to answer to all your questions, doubts, and make sure we give you the. Yeah, I think you wouldn't want to keep the meeting to only text messages. So I think now maybe Bafodia could help with I'm sorry, I'm using my phone, so the view is not that much conducive for me. So Bafodia could just help with trying to get people raise their hands through the raise button, and we could allow some speak and answer the questions directly rather than writing. So once you ask your questions, you mute your microphone. So at least that will make it more interactive rather than to be writing and you have to go through all the messages. So if anybody wants to ask a question, Bafode will try to call you and raise your hand. And Bafode, can you help with that?
Yes, I'm here, yes.
Yeah, so Bafode will call your name, then you unmute your microphone, ask your question, mute it back, and Binta, Musa, and Awa will come and answer if they have. And in the event they need more clarification, and have other members of the association come and help too. Yeah. So thank you. So Bafode, you could call out the first person who raises their hand, and maybe we could allow that.
Okay, please, for this, can you unmute your mic and ask your question?
Yes. Good evening to everyone. And I was the one who asked the previous question, so I will pick it from there. It reads, those of us who actually did not start the application yet, and we have only 2 days more to go with the process according to the presentations, you need to, choose your courses and arrange them according to your preferences on the 17th. So right now, if you actually get into the portal or the application process and arrange your courses, what is going to be the next step from there?
Thank you very much, Ode. And then now to the panelists, Binta, Awa, Musa. Yeah.
Okay. Is somebody speaking? I think I can take that.
Okay.
So if you're just starting, I think a good start point would be, Koma has mentioned, there is a list of scholarship, recommended scholarship from SI. Start from there and see if there is anything that you're interested in. So in terms of the university admission, it is not a very cumbersome process if you already have much of the information available with you. So you have the rest of this night, tomorrow, and on Monday in the morning, it's something that you can do. You can quickly go through the university admission and do that, and then submit on Monday. Then you will have opportunity to upload the required documents by the latest, the 1st of February. So you can do it if you want to.
Thank you very much, Awa. And Bafode, who is next on the queue?
Still 4 days there.
Yeah, who is next on the question?
I think you have Aminata Jaite.
I think for this question has been answered by Awa.
He just didn't unraise his hands.
Okay, who is
Aminata?
next?
All right, let me do that.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. So I have 2 questions again. One of it is that I want to know if the work 3000 work experience includes the voluntary experiences, or it just has to be paid work experience. So the second one will be whether documents can be uploaded in bits, or everything has to be submitted once and sent. Whether if you're done with your CV, you can upload later the other application forms, then you can upload as you're getting done, or you just have to upload everything at once for the submission.
Back to the panelists.
Yeah, I will take that. The first question, regarding the first question, it has to be by your paid work experience, that you are able to provide proof with the supervisor getting you stamps. You know, your voluntary services can be part of your civil society associations, but the professional service has to be the paid work experience. Hawa, any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think that is right. Essa, you want to say something?
Yeah.
That is right. Yeah.
As to the work experience, like the 3,000 hours of work, I don't think it is only paid work, because there can be other people who are not working directly with, like, maybe government institutions, or they are working with NGOs as an intern. You know, it depends on the individual, because as I don't only consider like those that are doing paid work, but let it be a work that, you know, your supervisor can be able to attest to, your supervisor can be able to sign for you and stamp for you, which is a recognized also institution, so that at least they will know that it is valued.
If I can add to that is, so you can have this 3,000 pay hours work from different work experiences. It doesn't have to be one organization. So it can be a multiple of organization that is summing up to 3,000. So as far as back as you can go, as far as you can have the supervisor that supervise you to stamp, to give you the official stamp of the organization, you should be good to match all these experiences to meet up to the 3,000.
Okay, the next online is Omar S. Davo. Can you comment, Omar?
Omar, are you
Unmute
there?
yourself, Omar.
Move to the next. Omar is busy.
Hello.
Yes, I am there.
Good evening.
No, Omar.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Can you have Omar first? Before Mustafa Ba. We have Omar Davo. Omar? Okay, Omar, you can talk now.
Omar Sen or Omar Dabo?
Omar
Dabo, I think.
Omar S. Dabo.
Omar S. Dabo.
Omar, your hand is up. More than 5 minutes now.
Can we
Hello?
turn on?
Yes.
It's the internet. Maybe can Chorno answer a question, ask a question.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everybody.
hello.
I think,
Sorry, can we have order, please?
Can you listen to your name first? Can you please listen to your name first before you come in? Omar is out, so let's have Mustafa.
Okay,
Raise your hand.
good evening, SI Alumni, and I want to seize the opportunity to thank you guys for giving us an in-depth knowledge about the SI application and all what it takes to get the scholarship. I have 2 questions to ask. One, am I audible, please?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The first question I want to ask is, I did upload all my documents, transcript, paid application fee, but as the university admission send me an email that I have to proof of a graduate certificate, whether that is applicable. So I went to UTG and to the registrar office. Taro did write a certificate of Leo showing that I'll be graduating by February and receiving my certificate in April 30th. So I'm asking whether this can work for me. The other question I wanted to ask is, when the portal is open at the SI, will you submit all the documents at once, the reference letter, the work experience letter, and the CV? Are you going, do they have are you going to upload this once and for all, or can you upload a document step by step? Can you please make that clarity? If for example, I am working in one organization for the last 5 years or 6 years, will I need to submit 2 different letters of leadership experience? Please, I want this to just to UTG replace of layoff certificate, and the other one is about whether the documents can be submitted simultaneously at once or should be periodical. Can you please help us with that, please?
Okay, Binta,
Yes.
our
Okay. In regards to your certificate, are you done with your studies now? And then if you're done, I think you should be able to have the award of certificate of award of degree.
Yes, I'm done. I uploaded that. That is this attestation showing that I have completed my bachelor's.
Exactly.
So, I did that.
Okay.
I did that.
Okay.
Yes.
If you upload that, if they still send you a message, you can write something but you said Taro has already written something for you and you have uploaded that. Then that explains. Yeah,
he did. He did, and there is no response from them.
Yeah, which means it's okay, because if they need additional information, they're gonna send it an email.
Thank you. Okay.
And for the for your documents, because when I was doing mine personally, I did everything in a day. So I always, if others have that experience of like uploading one form and then doing the others in the other days, but I did mine in one day at the same time.
Yeah, the process is very simple. What is very important is always try and read instructions on every website regarding this application. So if the day comes for you to submit your documentation on the SI Scholarship application portal, it's as easy as drinking water. You already doing the hardest part right now. You have to simply upload them on the website based on the instructions available there. Please be very vigilant with the instructions.
Thank you very much, Mustafa.
Okay.
Now let's have Ansumana Sanya. Let's have Ansumana Sanya. We are 30 minutes more to go.
Bafode, I think
Ansumana, please ask
Kase
one
want to
question.
say something with regards to the question that was asked.
What is
Can you mute your microphones if you're not talking, plece? Let's reduce the echo.
getting me, comma?
Yeah, I'm getting it. Yeah.
What I want to highlight is the instructions. They are very key because the instructions for last year and this year, they are different. In fact, if you look at the SI application instruction, even in this CV form, this year they are telling you that the annex need to be regarded. And even here, the motivational letter is going to be online. So I think parents need to be very vigilant. Let them not feel tired of reading the instructions. They need to read all the instructions so that they will know what to do. Because this year, the CV form, they will tell you no annex is required. And last year, there was annex. Last year, motivation was written. This year, the motivation is going to be online. So let them follow the instruction. Let them read the instruction very well and understand it.
That's very key. Thank you so much. I think that's very important. This is why from the beginning I keep saying each year the differences might not be much, but there exist very minor differences. And what Kase said is very right. I was going to be a victim of not following instructions because I was thinking at the time of my application, I needed to fill only one reference. Only a day to the application portal being open, I realized I had to do a second reference. So please, whichever form you are filling, don't depend on the information a previous awardee tells you. Keep following instructions. And now it requires even a more difficult task that you have to fill the motivation online. That means at the process of submitting your application. So please read each and every point because on every form they have a list of instructions. Read it and be very well conversant with all what they are saying. So that's very key. So now, so this year, so unlucky for you, you might not send your motivation letter for people to edit. So they want to test your English language skills, your summary skills, coherence, clarity, and any other thing. So prepare for them during your application process.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
now let's do the next one.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that. And Kase, thanks for bringing those additions on board. But there is one part of the question that was not responded to, asking whether he worked for 5 years, whether he could do the work experience only for that organization. So if you don't meet the 3,000 words in one organization, you can do multiple organizations. But if you meet the 3,000 work hours in one organization, you can also do 3,000 work hours in one organization. So now that some of the response questions have gone online, one thing that you can also do is to copy the question that is online, do it offline, give it to somebody to review for you. And and then when you're doing the online application, it's just a matter of you transferring the information online. So that is also a process that you can also do.
Okay. So next person, Ansumana Sanyam. But can we ask one question at a time? Because we have only less than 30 minutes to go, and people are dropping. Ansumana, can you ask your question? Ansumana, are you here?
Is Ansumana around?
Can I come in?
Yeah, is Ansumana around? Is Ansumana around? Then I think we move to Seni.
Seni Jani.
Seni?
Yes, Seni coming. Seni?
Move to the next.
Can we go to Seidu?
Okay.
Seidu?
The one with techno, can you come in?
I think they are having internet issues. They are only unmuting and then we are not hearing them.
I know, it's so tough.
I am sick. Can you hear me, please?
Hi.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
My question is, I want to know whether or not I can upload my English language proficiency. I got it from the registrar's office. How is it now? Before uploading, I want to know, is it me who should upload it, or do I have to go to the transcript office to do that? Thank you.
Okay. Our Binta Musa.
Yeah, for the English proficiency, you can upload it yourself. You don't need the registrar to do that for you.
One thing important about the English proficiency, make sure if it is issued 2-3 years ago, you update it. Get an updated version of it. At least it should not be more than 1 year or 2 years, okay?
And Paul back? Can you come in, Paul back?
Paul. Is Paul around, Paul?
Yes, I am around. Thank you to all of you for coming up with this and making some of us get through this application process. My question is, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. My question is, I have seen certain programs that exceed 120 credit hours. Programs that goes to 180, and I believe that's 3 years. And the scholarship covers only 2 years. Is it advisable for somebody to opt for courses like that? If it is not, we only have to stick to the recommendations that are specified in this scholarship that you only go for programs that last for 2 years. Thank you.
Our Binta Musa.
Yeah, I will take up that one. You have to make sure your program is offered within the specified period of the scholarship. If it goes beyond that, I don't think SI will be able to cover the extended expense. So you have to make sure your program is a 1 year program or a 2 year program. And so far so good. I only know of students been issued or offered this scholarship to be in either the 2nd year, 2 year programs or 1 year programs. But more than that, I have not come across anybody. Binta and Hawa, if you have anything about this.
Okay, Musa, let me add one point on that. What he said that 180, I saw somebody to say that one for bachelor degree. It's not for master. Sweden masters are 1 year, 2 year. 180 is bachelor degree. You need something there. You can go and read the instruction properly.
Okay, thank you.
Hi.
And I'm not sure. I think, Paul, the most important thing is, please, go back to your eligible list of courses. This is why I tell you it's the most important thing. The chairperson of the executive, Alman, has sent the link. In this link, you will see for 2022 to the academic year of 2022/2023, you will see all the eligible list of courses that they are offering. So make sure you choose your courses of interest from that list. Any other source that is out of that list, SI is not going to sponsor, because you'll get to realize that when the application portal is open, you have courses that you choose and they are assigned codes. So if they're not part of the eligible list of courses, you will not see it among the options. So please refer to the eligible list of courses. It has almost a lot of courses. I can count up to 200 or even 300. Let that guide you as to the areas you want to choose and start from that. So you have either 1 year or 2 year. So it depends where your interest lies. And in the event, just one more thing, in the event you have seen 2 year courses that are not your interest, please opt in for 1 year courses. It's still, yeah, sometimes you get to Sweden, those in Sweden can understand. If you enroll for a 2 year program, you get a person number, you get an ID. It's more easier to settle within their system. But that doesn't mean you should be discouraged if you cannot find your course of interest to be part of the 2 year list. If you see a course that is 60 credits and that's where your specialty lies, opt for it. Some people have gone with 1 year courses and they are fine. They didn't go through any problems. They've settled in Sweden now, working and even integrated part fully into the system. So that's something I want to also add on to. So go back to the list and get the eligible list of courses. Alman has sent Alukeba on the name of Zoom, has sent it here on the chat box. Go through the messages before we end the meeting. You will see the list, click on it and make sure that becomes your guide.
Okay, and next one.
Yeah. So the next one, who is there? Osman or user,
Hello.
Seni. Has Seni asked the question?
Hello. Hello.
Am I audible?
Chorno, please. Chorno, talk.
Yes, Chorno talking. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your initiative. I just have a question with regards to the transcript. Me, for one, I've been doing a program, HND program and a certificate program, where the transcripts are more than a single page. I scan them. I don't know where I should put them in a single folder, or I just send them individually. That's what I want to know. Upload them individually. And the other question is with regards to the submission, uploading of documents. Are we going to put them all in a single folder, or we upload one by one with regards to the transcripts? Because we have, for me, I have more than 3 transcripts in different institutions. Thank you.
Hello? So you have upload document section. So you upload the documents that is relevant, that is asked on the university admission page. You have transcript from different organizations. I think the most relevant transcript that is leading you to a master's degree is your BSc transcript. So for me personally, I would like to advise you to upload only the BSc transcript and leave the rest. So on the university admission page, transcript and other documents, so it has, you click on the relevant document that you're supposed to upload, and then it uploads. So it's not one folder, it is different links that you need to upload the relevant document on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
My bachelor's was a 3-year program.
Hello.
I think that's fine. I had a 3-year program too, so I'm not sure that should be. Anyway.
Hello.
Hello, we are getting you.
Okay, good evening from my end here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask this question with regards to the scholarship and then the portal itself.
Okay.
In fact, I have been going through this and I've been reading the every school that I've applied and the courses. But what I realized is, I don't know, is it UME? I think UME, right? UME.
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Okay, they have their scholarship to be opened probably 1 or 2 days. And then I have this issue, my attestation is not yet sent because I've been following UTG to send my attestation. And also my transcript is not yet sent. And then I have this issue pending. So Monday, hopefully they might. So which I don't know. And I have also seen that if these documents are not sent before on the 17th, so most likely you may not be able to apply the school scholarship. You can only apply the government scholarship. So this is what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
Okay. I haven't had any experience with schools, but Musa, can you help or anybody?
Yeah, let me just try to quickly help. With regards to school scholarships, you can only be able to apply to a school scholarship that is ranked your first priority. If UMIO is your first ranked school based on your ranking, so you are qualified to apply for the university scholarship of UMIE. So you cannot be able to apply for the university scholarships of those on your 2nd, 3rd, 4th ranking, if at all you choose up to 4 universities. And if you are unable to do your documentation on time, especially on the deadline, your application is not going to proceed. You have to make sure you are able to put in all the required documentation before the deadline passes. So make sure you have your documents online, and I believe the portal will be sending you messages so that you can be informed of any missing documents. You have to be properly checking your portals as well. Sometimes they will not directly send you an email. It's an information that will be like you'll see decline on your portal, or you'll see communication sort of at your portal. Whenever you see that, you have to know that there is a missing document that needs to be put in there. So always try and check your portals regularly and make sure you have all the documents there before the deadline to be qualified, or to make sure your application is processed to the next level. Okay, I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Jere Baj.
Okay, okay.
Can you come in, Jere?
Hello.
Yes, hello, Jere.
Yeah, good evening, everyone down there. I just want to ask a question. I had my BSc and I studied marine, and I was looking for marine school. I was able to get two. But with regards to this English proficiency, I was reading Newsweek, some of the Newsweek from the universities, and I came across an area which indicated that sometimes the school could admit you based on the school where you got your BSc without necessarily submitting your English proficiency certificate or something like that. So I want to find out, because it's like few days to the opening of the portal in 1st of February, and to get this English certificate might be very difficult at this time. So what is, a way out in that area? Hello.
Yes, I've heard it very well. The English proficiency is very, very important to be presented on the portal or on the application website, because they need this to verify that your previous education was done in English. So if you are unable to provide a proof of proficiency, I'm afraid your application will not stand a better chance to proceed to the next level. So that's why
I had one that was few years back, but I heard from one of the presenters stating that it has to.
The only institution,
the
only institution that is very important for your application is your just recently concluded institution, which might be UTG, or your last university that you did your undergraduate. So that university has to be the one to provide your proficiency in English, because that's where you are able to do these credit hour courses that is going to qualify you for your choosing master's programs. So that institution makes sure they are able to provide you with an English proficiency. And then if it is issued 5 years ago, that's too old, please go back there, let them update it and stamp it for you. That's the best advice I can give.
Okay, thank you. Well understood.
Okay, next one is Seni Jana. But before Seni Musa, let me add one thing. Before Seni.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sorry. I had a question. Okay.
So who is on the queue now to ask?
Seni, you can come. Seni, come in. Seni?
Good day, everyone.
Okay,
are you hearing me? Yes, are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I have two short questions on the SICV form.
Okay.
The first one is where it asks industry or sector. Does it really mean like civil society, civil service, and NGOs? And the second one is where it asks for the number of employees. How do you establish that? The number of employees in civil society, probably in the Ministry of Health, or with MRC or other civil societies? Do we have to contact them to ask for those questions and get the answer from them, or we can just give them an estimate?
So the industry or sector generally refers to, either it's in the education industry or it's in the agricultural industry. You have to be able to specify which area of, let's say, the SDGs. Is it health? Is it education? Is it, wildlife? Think about the different SDGs and indicate that as the industry that you're operating in. And the second question, can you come on? I don't really get that. What do you say?
I think he is asking about the
where they are
estimation of the number of staff, the number of employees. Am I right?
Yeah. Are you there, Stephen?
Exactly.
Yeah. So then again, just like Musa said, the sector, when you're filling the form, is a drop down. So you choose the one that is most relevant. And so the number of employees is not an easy one, especially if you've worked for a whole ministry, you may not know the exact figures. You can try to contact the HR department to see if they can share this information with you. I think that would be the most authentic information if you contact whichever organization, the HR department, to give you the information. But if not, I will take the risk of, estimating the number.
Thank you. Yeah. Who is next? Bafode, we have 7 more minutes.
Yeah, I want to comment, please.
Techno.
Hello.
Hello, you want to can you come?
Hello.
Yes, I wanted to
I guess
ask.
it's my turn now.
Yes.
Hello.
The one
Yes,
with Techno. Thomas, can you allow the one with Techno to talk? To ask question?
No, before Omar, I'm seeing my able boss, SG. Or maybe that's on my screen.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes,
Who is
SG.
SG.
Go ahead, SG.
Thank you. Thank you for this platform. I just go straight to my question. I wanted to confirm who actually sends these 2 documents, the attestation, the transcript.
The transcript is supposed to be sent by the university, but for my case, I have been to the UTG because they will not issue the official transcript directly. So I have been there, give them access to my portal, and they upload it there. So you don't actually send the transcript directly by yourself. So I don't have experience of anyone telling me that they are able to do this by themselves.
Yeah, I think that is also possible. The transcript has to be an official. I've seen applicants who have uploaded the transcript on their own and they have succeeded and got the application. But then whatever transcript you put on, make sure it is an official transcript.
All right, I just want to make a on that. You're applying for, let's say, 4 different programs. Is it that the document you upload?
No, can I have
all 4
in this?
Sorry, we are not hearing you.
You're breaking up. Maybe you can type your question.
Yes, can I come in, Musa?
Okay, go ahead, Techno.
Hello. Yes, how are you all doing? So I apply for university. So is it possible? I'm asking, is it possible, like each of these universities I apply? Can I apply more than 1 program in each of the universities that I apply? Is that possible?
It's your choice, and then your chances to succeed. But you are required to apply up to 4 different programs, and you can go up to 4 different universities. So my advice would be, since you can be able to go to 4 different universities, why not you apply for 1 program at each university? You are free to choose any amount of course, but the most important thing is you want to make sure your application stands out. And for your application to stand out, your courses in these different universities, there must be a correlation among them. You cannot be able to write a motivation letter for 4 different programs in 4 different universities that are not even related. So I don't know how you're going to choose these courses, but make sure any course you are taking from different universities, let there be this link between the courses that you can be able to connect with your motivation letter and your professional career path. That's very important. I hope that answered your question.
Any more on our list before we close the meeting?
Yes,
Who is
yes, can I please come in?
Hello.
Yes,
Yes, I was asking, is it possible to, who can upload the reference letters? Like if you have, because we were asked to look for 2 referees, like that is so professional and academic.
Yeah.
So who is going to upload this? Is it you get this from your referees and upload it, or they have to do it by themselves?
Okay. Binta, I want to take that, or I can go ahead still. All right. So the reference form, they are already provided by the scholarship issuing body. The reference forms are templates on the, you can be able to download this from their website. And these forms, if you download them, you have to fill them electronically and maybe send them to your reference or referees to fill it for you. And if they fill it for you, they have to send it back to you. You have to print these forms and make sure your referees are able to put the official stamps of their working institutions on it. Now, this is what you are going to scan again in color. And when the application for scholarship window open in February, these documents are what you're going to upload by yourself on the website. So no one should upload these documents for you, but you should do it yourself, okay?
Hello, I have a question.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, we are taking the last one, please. Taking the last question, please.
My question is, I applied for the SI scholarship last year, and I uploaded my official transcript plus my other documents. So is it also necessary to upload the official transcript and my English proficiency, as you said, that it should not be more than 2 years? Should I upload the official transcript again or not? And the second question is, is it advisable also to rearrange my ranking? I already ranked them, but I want to make some changes. So is it advisable to rearrange them again? Thank you.
Okay, I will take that. Yes, you're still free to work on your application until the deadline. Make sure you are able to do the right thing before the deadline, but after the deadline, you are not able to do some of the changes you will want to do again. So you will still have time until on the 17th to change your priorities. And if you change them, you will get an automatic notification by the portal that changes are made, and you have to confirm this. So, but after the deadline, that cannot be possible again.
Hello, I
Okay.
have a question. I think I wrote it in the chat box, but it might be an oversight. Sorry. I was asking if you have already applied, do you have to go to each of the schools admission site to register on their portal? That is one.
No.
And also after this session, where can we see the documentation? Because what happened for me, I was connected online on my phone, and at a point in time, my phone, the charger went off. I lost connection. So I didn't, I missed some of the presentation that was made. So where can we get the presentation of this? And also, if there is like a checklist, like a step-by-step, how each individual, because sometimes when you enter the website, it throws you to another page and then it throws you back to another page. So you get a little bit confused where exactly you are, or if you are on the right channel. So if we can get like something like a checklist to say, at this stage, this is what you do from here, then it moves you to another window of this type, and so on. On a personal basis, we want to say thank you very much for your time and for this opportunity. It is very handy, and we are really very grateful to have all of you on this panel. Thank you, and I hope to hear my response on the questions. Bye.
All right, thank you. I think that's by virtue of Zoom, you log out of a session or you've actually missed almost everything that you've been following. But we created this page, like SI applicant page. I think probably we could have some of the slides sent there that has already been discussed here. We're looking forward to, I know everybody is busy, but we, as Alu just mentioned in the chat box, we are looking forward to organizing another webinar again, a Zoom meeting, prior to your submission of the scholarship application. So probably we'll try to arrange a date whereby even after the second Zoom meeting, you could still be able to do a lot of edits on your work if you had doubts or clarifications. So I think for the slides or every information that have been shared, the three speakers will send their PPTs and we'll upload it onto the onto that group. Yeah. So Musa, our Binta, if you're part of the SI applicants page, or you could just forward it to anybody or Bafode or so, or if any of you is among the group, just collate them and send it to one person and have them uploaded. So I think Alu just answered to a question that is very important here. And we want to clarify that. SI is not asking you to be a leader before you can be chosen for a scholarship, or else 3/4 of us wouldn't all have gone to Sweden to study. So you just have to possess, like Alu said, I agree with that, leadership qualities, and you demonstrate that you've executed some leadership roles, not being a leader. At the time of my application, I wasn't leading my office. I had a program manager who had a director. So I was just a staff within a program. I applied and I got it. So not necessarily being a leader, head of an organization, no. You can still be the lowest person there, even the most junior, and you put a very good application and you are lucky to get it. So I think that's just what I want to add. So maybe Aliu, just a concluding remark, 1 minute before we hang up.
Sorry, can I just quickly answer the first part of her question, which is if she can be able to check through the website of the university to submit or to create an account. For now, you don't have to do much with the universities. Your application should be entirely handled by the universityadmissions.se. So you will just limit your interactions within that website and make sure all the proper documents are set there. So if you succeed with the admission application, the next stage, the universities will communicate with you directly, and then they will let you know of whatever you should do.
And also, you know, you have an option where it says more information that you can access, and that will take you to the official website of that particular university, and you can get the program details there. So that can help.
Okay, good. Yeah. So, and no direct communication between you and any university. Everything has to go through university admissions. And finally, keep checking your messages and university admissions. So once you upload documents, if there is anything missing, they try to write to you. And those messages don't reflect on the email addresses that you use to register an account or to create an account. So you have to continuously go directly to the university admission website, log into your portal, and read all messages that might come from them. So that way you are able to know if they need any more information from you. So hopefully, finally, just a minute of concluding remarks from Aliu, and we call it a day until we come your way again. Aliu?
No, come. I'll allow Jobati to do that. I'll just say thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you very soon on another webinar. Jobati, over to you. I mean, he did very well. He really organized this, so I'll give him the courtesy of closing this.
Alcalo, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Alman, for coordinating this, and thank you so much, Koma, for hosting this, and then to all the co-panelists. Thank you so much. And for those of you who actually took your time to join, thank you so much. Although we all know it's an opportunity for you to advance in your career and everything, but you could also stay out and think it's not good enough for you. But thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for coming. Until we come your way next time, as they said, we will organize another one before the submission of the scholarship application. So we'll definitely come back again. With that, I will say thank you so much. And if you have any question, please use the WhatsApp page and then ask question. Please do not suffer alone. Like I always say, we always say, do not suffer alone. You have people who could help you, and then we can help you without like we can help you when we are free. So just ask questions, and then we'll happily help. Thank you so much, and then until we come your way again.
Okay, Mr. Ibrahim, how can we have access to your WhatsApp link, please?
It has been shared on the chat box. So I don't know.
We'll share it. Alman, can you share it again, please? Okay, Alman will share it.
I shared it, please.
Uma,
yes.
I believe this conversation is being recorded also. I don't know if that will answer the lady's question. If you're going to share this on YouTube, or she might want to watch it.
I think Aliu has the recorded version as the host, and maybe you will find a means of sharing it. I just hope it won't be a heavy file.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might have difficulties downloading, but let's see. Yeah. Okay, thank you, everybody.